Obey my commands at all times and protect yourself at all times. Touch him up, bell range, come out fighting.
And at this stage right now, Calzaghe is fighting the fight that he wants to fight.
He thinks safety first oftentimes.
38 knockouts in 52 wins for Jones.
And so far, a counter right hand.
But he also gives up. Calzaghe lands inside.
I haven't seen too many clean shots, even downstairs, from Calzaghe, at least not to my eye.
Calzaghe knows that Jones is quicker in the center of the ring, and down goes Calzaghe. Just as he was down in the first round against Hopkins, he's down in the first round against Jones. Much more badly hurt than against Hopkins, and fighting rather than trying to get away. The chance that he can keep fighting with Jones after taking a big shot. And he goes forward, wading in. But Jones is going to have a 10-8 round with which to begin the fight.
But this is not something that Jones likes to do. So here we see Roy Jones land a jab in the eye, which really obstructed the vision of Calzaghe. And then as Calzaghe was going down, he got hit with a punch that Jones just shot in anticipation of the way his head was going to be. Perfect punch.
Although it looked like he hit him with his wrist.
Yeah. I think he's probably been down about 4 times in fights, which shows that he does have the ability to come back. And at this stage right now still.
Knocked Mitchell out in that round. Has shown the capacity to come back.
To understand how he's outspeeding Joe Calzaghe, who I thought was the fastest light heavyweight around, at least this side of Chad Dawson.
But can he do it over the long stretch of the fight if Calzaghe can make it go round? And here's what will hurt Jones most if it keeps up.
Sloppy sometimes in his defense, but Roy, as we said earlier, has
a couple of little body shots inside. It's abundantly clear it's a different fight in the center of the ring than when they go to the ropes. And Calzaghe seems to have his legs under him now and a greater ability to withstand what Jones throws. Jones lands another right hand shot. Jones backing into the ropes and giving Calzaghe a chance to just throw away. Emmanuel Stewart in the second round by CompuBox numbers, in which he hopes to dominate the second half of the fight. Good body shot by Calzaghe.
Over the last half round or so, Calzaghe is landing much cleaner to the body.
Come on, work out of it, work out of it.
Calzaghe unfazed. Goes at him with his hands held low.
You know, Roy's punches are much more flashier and much more powerful. But, you know, unless
he throws
really...
one punch at a time, and Calzaghe throws 6.
And that's what I'm saying, and I don't know if he's ever fought anybody like this. Calzaghe is not just, he's a big man. You know, it's very, very difficult to just take punches from a tall guy like that.
Calzaghe showboating in the center of the ring.
You ever thought you'd see that with an opponent against Roy Jones?
By Calzaghe.
Burning himself out by throwing so many punches while he's blocking them.
Calzaghe taking Jones's punches much better now. And landing when he fires back. Right hand there.
With his hands down, showboating, and carrying the round.
Watch his shoulder.
At least with body language, Calzaghe is trying to portray to the audience and to the judges that he has weathered the storm, that he understands what's up with Jones now, that he's not fazed by what happened in round 1, and that he can swamp Jones with punch count from here. He has dominated round 3.
Joe Calzaghe put on a performance. I mean, the guy is so good. Just incredible third round.
That he is, in fact, the guy in charge.
Well, to me, outside of the first round, he's won, even though... And Roy is having a problem of trying to time Joe's hand.
Having fallen behind in the first and maybe the second rounds. And you never know when Jones may lay another trap for him. He now tasted Jones's power to such an extent that he won't be shocked.
Roy's never experienced this, and I think that the fact that Joe can do this all night.
That's right. You don't expect Calzaghe to slow down.
No.
Kessler waited for it to happen, and Calzaghe just kept building the tempo. Attacking Jones with impunity in the corner.
He's beaten Roy in every way at this point here.
Good hard right hand by Jones.
With his hands down.
So on Harold Letterman's scorecard, he climbs back to within a point.
Particularly when Joe is standing as he is now with his guard down. And maybe show Roy that he doesn't respect his power.
Good straight left hand by Calzaghe. 3 right hands to the body. Combination upstairs. Jones fires back with 1 right hand. This was the basic equation coming into the fight. A fighter who is comfortable throwing 75 punches around against a fighter who customarily throws 35 to 40.
Do at this stage right now. I can't believe how he's dropping his hands to get away with it. He's throwing punches, but he cannot hit Calzaghe.
There's a hard right hand by Jones. Calzaghe comes back working the body and slips the right hand there.
Break.
Landed anything really solid upstairs in a while. This round may be on the table with 50 seconds to go. Calzaghe begins to try to apply his volume formula to it.
Why would Roy allow someone to stand in front of him with his hands down when he can punch is beyond me.
Well, that's his way of trying to make Calzaghe get tired.
Calzaghe lands a big left hand.
Yep.
Now the round belongs to the Welshman.
Yep.
Jones lands a left off the ropes.
Jones is being physically beaten as well as outpunched.
Calzaghe with the right hand. They're going to fight down the stretch of the round.
Tough round.
And Calzaghe tries to nail it down with a flurry at the finish. Jones with one more big counter shot. What a round. In round 5, Calzaghe 20 out of 58. Jones 18 out of 33. Calzaghe with a 12-0 edge in jabs. Jones had his moments in that round, but as you see, Harold Letterman gave it to Calzaghe. Looks to counter. Jones must have made a pretty good point in the last round because Calzaghe is suddenly treating him with more respect.
The main punch in this fight has been the right hand, particularly the right hand, gotten away with that. He's having problems getting that punch in with Calzaghe, and that's got him all off track because he's not really jabbing much.
Slowly, imperceptibly, Emmanuel, it just appears to me that Calzaghe's body attack is beginning to take its toll. Jones looks a little bit more labored.
Before you can time him which one. He comes in and out.
Lead right hand. It doesn't look like it's having a tremendous effect on Joe.
Well, that's the main thing he worked on, and I'm quite sure Joe them have studied him very well and learned that that's the main punch they have to look at.
Remember to turn the tactical equation in his favor. Takes a big uppercut there. Excellent punch by Jones. And maybe Jones has found another way to land his right hand. And Joe fights back the way he's most accustomed to. And again, judges can see how many punches are thrown way more effectively than they can see what lands.
Has to be winning this fight. I mean, I thought Roy deserved an extra point for round 1. Thought Roy stunned him in round 2. But after that...
Beginning of round 7.
Third fight, there were opportunities for Roy to win. Question remains, how great is he?
And Joe Calzaghe is coming straight through with that 1-2. Punches with sharp, clean punches. And
solid left hand by Calzaghe, follows it up with a couple of body shots. Another flurry by Calzaghe. Drives Jones back against the ropes. Roy may be momentarily hurt.
He's hurt. Straight left.
Blood above the left eye of Roy Jones. Jones has landed a couple of good counter shots with the constant assault. Again, the hand speed flurries by Calzaghe. Jones gets him off with one punch, and staring at Jones and watching the blood flow and going back to work.
And all this said...
But I've never saw him knocked out until they got knocked out by Tarver.
Calzaghe showboating again, taunting Jones as he pushes him into the corner. Jones is landing good, solid counter shots, and Calzaghe now is walking through them.
Yeah,
Roy was not this cut and this hurt in that fight, but you're right.
This is the worst cut I've ever seen him experience. They did not manage to do anything close to stopping the bleeding between rounds.
He's still trying to win.
Absolutely. Than was the case against Tarver or Glen Johnson. No, he's never been cut, and obviously nothing ever like this.
Depending on how long he can go with that cut.
Calzaghe has taken a little bit of a vacation this round. Begins to apply the pressure again. And when he's able to push Jones into corners, he's totally in control. And now The combinations and the hand speed, and Jones looking to land one big shot. Dodging the left hook, firing away again. He's swamping Jones with activity and willpower and desire. Badly hurt.
Rocky Marciano's nose was hanging off his face. 7th round of the Ezra Charles fight. The ref said you have one more round. He knocked Charles out. That people remember. Of course, Roy is almost 40 years old, facing a younger, fresher man.
But he's trying to win this fight.
He realizes, I think, that this is his last chance on this stage.
Anyone has ever landed against him. 244 shots.
But this is what he can do. As long as he was aggressive going forward, Calzaghe didn't do anything, but he cannot bag back to the ropes and let Joe get his momentum going. But I don't think he can do anything about it at this stage.
Roy can punch with both hands.
But it's Joe who's doing the punching, and Roy who's having to cover up.
Even if they're between rounds, they've had time to go ahead and find someone else, another trainer, and get some coagulants or something.
5 previous appearances in Madison Square Garden, he won them all. Reality started to set in. Calzaghe begins the 10th round with a couple of body shots.
And I don't know why Orton Berkison doesn't get out of that ring.
He would try to land some hooks. So the Jones corner believes they're doing all the right things. Bottom line is they have not been effective in stopping the bleeding, who's almost 40 years old, getting hit with punches he hasn't caught.
Good chin, good stamina. Very difficult guy to fight, but there's a lot of guys throw punches in and out. He's very, very difficult to, right there. See, he pulls back. And
I don't know. Maybe Calzaghe would have beaten Roy at his best. After all, we just saw him beat him. No one's walking through Joe Calzaghe, that's for sure.
Only chance it would appear to win the fight is that he lands something huge and turns it all around by hurting Calzaghe, and Calzaghe's still giving him chances to do it. Calzaghe would be within his rights in shutting down. I think he's also, frankly, slowed Jones down to the point where basically he sees it coming.
Yep.
He's now talking full time. Impossible to tell what he's saying, but he's talking to Calzaghe the whole time. Probably something to the effect of, you can't knock me out. A reference to LaMotta versus Sugar Ray Robinson. And the line was, you never knocked me out, Ray. You never knocked me out. And he, in fact, walks away to fight each other with a 50-50 split.
you couldn't really blame Calzaghe if he just stayed away and ticked off the clock, so to say, this last round.
No, Roy's going to have to do the upending if he hopes to win.
Crowd wants Jones to try to do something.
Yeah, but what would enhance it even more, I think, is if in this last 45 seconds,
He should pay a little bit more respect than to take advantage of this to Jones takes one last home run swing. The last time in the ring for both men. Just could be farewell.
To the winner by unanimous decision, the fighting pride of Newbridge, Wales, still light heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Calzaghe.